We are ranking the best middleweight naked motorcycles in today's video. How are we defining middleweight naked? Well, the definition's gotten a little bit weird over the last couple years, but I'm gonna do anything with 100 horsepower or more, 700 to 997 cc's of displacement, and kind of that intermediate naked category. Think of something that would be someone's second or third motorcycle. So we're gonna take a look at the best motorcycles, the worst motorcycles, and if I haven't ridden a bike on today's video, I will let you know when I get to it in the ranking, but I have ridden the vast majority of the bikes on today's list. Let's start off with the worst bike, the Suzuki GSX-S750. You forgot that Suzuki still made this motorcycle, didn't you? I did too, but it's getting quite long in the tooth. If I remember correctly, it's been last updated in 2017, and it's kind of showing. And look, it's good value for money, it's bulletproof, but again, it's just getting really long in the tooth compared to the competition, and I don't really think it's worth your consideration if you're looking at a brand new motorcycle. If you're looking at buying something used and you can find a GSX-S750, it might be a good steal because it's one of the last inline-4 naked bikes you can still buy new today. Now, despite the GSX namesake, it does not share the same frame as the GSX-R750 race bike. So this has a totally different steel tubular frame and a very detuned engine compared to the GSX-R750. This motorcycle can be yours for an MSRP of $85.49. That is pretty cheap. A 749cc inline 4, making 99 horsepower and 54 foot-pounds of torque. But again, because it's so outdated and because the competition is so stiff, we had to put the Suzuki at the bottom of our list today. The next bike is related. It's the Kawasaki Z900. I'm putting it second to worst on today's video ranking, and there's a couple reasons for that. The Z900 doesn't really have a whole lot going for it other than the fact that it's got a big honking motor. It's a 948cc inline 4 making 125 horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque. This motorcycle's MSRP is $9,899, so quite a bit more than that GSX-S750, but you do get a little bit more bang for your buck. The reason I put the Z900 so far down the list is because I've ridden one, and I'll be honest, it doesn't really have the same je ne sais quoi pop and character as many of the other naked bikes we're going to talk about on today's list. It also doesn't represent particularly good value for money when you consider that it's just a big loping inline 4 that Kawasaki just kind of shoved in there. They have made some solid changes over the last few years. You get a new TFT display, the suspension's updated a little bit, and if you want to get the SE model, it'll handle a little bit better by way of better suspension, but I still think that the competition is way too stiff for this category. If you truly love the inline 4 sound, the Z900 or the GSX-S750 are going to be your only choices for new motorcycles in the middleweight category for 2024. And for some of you out there, that's a big consideration, and I totally get it. Now, the next pick may surprise you because it's such a premium bike, but the Ducati Streetfighter V2 finds its way on our list closer to the bottom here. Now, why is that? Well, despite this motorcycle being based on the Panigale V2 Supersport motorcycle, and despite having a 955cc L-twin engine making 155 horsepower and 76 foot-pounds of torque, this motorcycle is just simply way too expensive to be in this category. But Ducati only makes expensive motorcycles, and this 955cc engine is their middleweight. Yeah, I know, strange times we live in that is basically what was superbike performance, but it's now the middleweight. The worst part about this bike is the price, $17,995 for the base red edition. While it is a pretty sweet bike and you do get proper Ducati looks with it, I don't really think it's worth your consideration if you're thinking about an intermediate level naked motorcycle, despite this being Ducati's main offering for that. Now you might say, yeah, they also make the Ducati Monster, but I would kind of place the Monster in this category as well here too. Ducati's middleweight ranking is a bit strange because of the Streetfighter V2 and the Ducati Monster, but I do think they belong here further down the list. One important point is that the Streetfighter V2 has a frame based on the Panigale V2 motorcycle, so it's much more agile and a much more sophisticated frame than you would find on other motorcycles. All right, finding its way on number 5 on our ranking for intermediate middleweight naked motorcycles is the new BMW F900R. Now, I will admit this motorcycle makes me kind of sleepy. It's also very nondescript in what it's doing and how it looks. I mean, if you squint, it kind of looks like, you know, generic motorcycle you'd find in a Wikipedia page. But BMW's made good strides with this bike. It's got the really nice TFT display from all the other BMW models. It's priced reasonably well, but the big issue with the pricing is the fact that you have to add in so many price point specs and packages and all this stuff to get the motorcycle to compete with other bikes in this category. So the base price is $8,995, but if I configure it on the BMW website to be competitive with other bikes in this category, you end up with a little over $11,000. It features an 895cc parallel twin engine making 99 horsepower and 67 foot-pounds of torque. Those are pretty competitive numbers and feel pretty good, but I can't say so much because I haven't ridden the F900R just yet. This bike could be a sleeper hit, but seeing most reviews on it, people kind of say it's a bit of a forgettable motorcycle, unfortunately. So that's why it finds its way on number 5 on our list today.
Folks, let me take a quick break to tell you about our giveaway GSX-8R. I have honestly been kind of blown away by this thing. Yes, I famously called it the French bulldog of motorcycles, but Suzuki's built an awesome, fun, flexible platform that allows you to lay down serious miles, tackle twisty roads, or just simply commute as well. It's a rewarding bike to ride, and I can't wait to keep enjoying it for the time I have it. Head over to Yamaha.co and become a member to start earning automatic entries that never expire. You can stack them up, apply them towards the current giveaway, or wait until we drop a new giveaway you're more interested in. It's the best way to support the show, and we literally could not do what we do without the thousands of members on the website. You also get access to our Discord server, which is easily the biggest and best in motorcycling. So head over there, sign up, and support. Thanks. Now let's get back into this episode.
All right, number 4 is one that's near and dear to my heart. It's the Aprilia Tuono 660. Now, this is a bit of a strange motorcycle because it kind of fits between the MT-07 Ninja 650 style of motorcycles and then the MT-09 Street Triple and those sorts of motorcycles over on the other end. But the price of this thing firmly puts it here in the intermediate middleweight category. Coming in for a base price of $10,699 bucks, the Aprilia Tuono is definitely an expensive motorcycle for what it is. It features a 659cc parallel twin engine making 100 horsepower and 49 foot-pounds of torque. Now you might say, Yam, those aren't really high numbers and this bike is pretty expensive, but the Aprilia Tuono 660 does a very interesting thing in that it is more than sum of its parts. I've ridden the RS 660 and given away both an RS 660 and a Tuono 660, so I know a lot about these bikes and have a lot of experience with them, and they are super enjoyable to ride because of how lightweight they are. The bikes feature an impressive technological suite of electronic rider aids, a decent suspension package with rebound adjustability at the front, but most importantly, an aluminum twin spar frame that feels awesome on the side of the tire. But I can't put it that high up on the list because it just represents kind of poor value for money when compared to other motorcycles that are better, faster, and overall just more value for money. While the Tuono 660 is a super rewarding and fun motorcycle to ride, it finds itself 4th on our list of intermediate middleweight naked motorcycles for today. All right, podium places. Number 3 on the list is the Triumph Street Triple R and RS. This was a really hard call for me to make, but after looking at the specs and looking at what the motorcycle offers, it has to be 3rd on our list for today. Obviously, Triumph Street Triple is an amazing motorcycle. I really love them. I'm a huge advocate of the Daytona platform, which the Street Triple shares a lot of its frame and geometry with. That's something that's super cool about the Street Triple is that it's coming from a 2013 plus Daytona frame, so the thing just feels super agile, like a real sport bike. It is not some naked bike that they shoved a powerful engine into, like the Z900. A super dialed in rider feeling, a silky smooth triple cylinder engine, the Street Triple is truly one of the best naked bikes you can buy. And if you want something with that little bit of zest and character, I highly recommend it. It features a 765cc triple cylinder engine that makes a little bit different power depending on if you get the R or the RS. In R configuration, it makes 116 horsepower and 57 foot-pounds of torque. In the RS configuration, it makes 121 horsepower and 58 foot-pounds of torque. The R model costs $11,195, whereas the RS model costs $12,995, starting to get up there in price in my opinion. Now, while the RS is definitely the one you should get because you get the better TFT display, some extra rider modes, and you get the updated suspension, I think the fact that Triumph has priced the RS where it has versus the competition that we're about to talk about is a little bit rough. The R model doesn't even get a cool TFT display, which is something that is standard in a lot of other motorcycles in this category. The Aprilia Tuono has it, the other 2 bikes we're going to talk about have it, and the vast majority of them have it too. The Z900 has a TFT display, and I think the Triumph Street Triple R display is kind of inexcusable. It's using the same one as the Triumph Trident, and it just looks super cheap. This motorcycle also doesn't have an advanced suite of electronics. It doesn't have a 6-axis IMU. It doesn't have anything like that. And while the bones of it are very strong and very good, the motor's great, the frame is great, everything's awesome. I think it's missing some critical features if you're looking at a very value-driven decision. Again, if you love Triumph like I do, you might eschew all that and just buy it anyways because the thing is just so freaking sweet. But the next two bikes we're going to talk about are going to make the difference. Okay, number 2 on the list is the new Duke 990. I have still yet to swing a leg over a Duke 890 or 990 motorcycle, but I've heard nothing but good things from the people who have ridden them. And after looking at the spec sheets and thinking about the value of these motorcycles, it firmly comes into second place. It features a 947cc parallel twin engine making 123 horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque. The bike also costs $12,500 base. But the issue is KTM's demo mode. So you don't actually get all of the cool slide control, traction control, all the electronic rider aids unless you pay for the performance pack, which in my opinion is kind of a trash thing to do. All that being said, I still really want to test out one of these KTM 990s because I think it would be really, really sick. Given how aggressive, punchy, and how awesome this motorcycle is, it has to come in at second place on today's list. The price point is a little bit spicy, but you're getting a lot of performance out of that engine, and you are getting that KTM ready-to-race capability. The Duke 990 should definitely be top of your considerations if you're looking at a middleweight intermediate motorcycle, but we gotta give it up to number 1. Without a doubt, number 1 on the middleweight intermediate naked motorcycle list today is the almighty Yamaha MT-09. Yamaha has been making the MT-09 motorcycle for over 10 years now, and it's been really cool to see what they started out as with that crazy FZ09 back in 2013 that just wanted to wheelie everywhere and didn't handle worth a damn, to now where the motorcycle is just ridiculously complete. It features that almighty 890cc triple making 115 horsepower and 69, nice, foot-pounds of torque. The best part is this motorcycle's MSRP is $10,599. That's $100 less than the Tuono 660. This bike is simply awesome. I've gotten the chance to ride several MT-09s of the new generation, and they just keep getting better and better. The handling is sublime, the engine character is wonderful, the fueling is great. This motorcycle comes equipped with a 6-axis IMU stock. You don't need to get any performance packs, it just comes with it. That features lean-sensitive traction control, slide control, wheelie control, the Yamaha ride control systems. I mean, this thing is fully zooted. And I think the new one looks pretty awesome too. I wasn't really sold on the third generation's crazy Cyclops looks, but I'm really glad they made something a little bit more normal for this new generation MT-09. And if none of that sounds good to you, you can get the MT-09 SP, which features Öhlins suspension for only $1,500 more. The SP variant also comes with top shelf Brembos for even better stopping power. So it's really hard to beat the Yamaha MT-09 as the king of the intermediate middleweight naked motorcycles. It features amazing bang for buck, Yamaha build quality and reliability, and just an awesome motorcycle. You're really giving up hardly anything when you buy this thing. So guys, that's my ranking of the intermediate middleweight naked motorcycle category. Let me know in the comments what you think about my ranking. If you think I'm totally off base here, if you think the Z900 should be top of the pile, it shouldn't. We all know that. Come on now. And if you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, be sure to hit me up over on Discord on yaminoob.co, become a member, and get access to all of our cool stuff on there. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Keep watching Yami Noob.